Hello there.
When God made Superman, he decided that his weakness was going to be kryptonite. You know, fair enough. His weakness is kryptonite, but he gets all the other enhancements, so fair play to that. When God made me, he's like, swim with sharks? Yeah, this kid can do that. Yeah, fair enough. He can swim with sharks. Below 20 degrees Celsius weather? Nah, this kid cannot handle that. Guys, it's currently 7.4 degrees here in Sydney, and you guys in the UK, Europe, US are probably laughing at me now. 7.4 degrees Celsius. This kid won't survive in the ends where we are from. You're right, probably. But yeah, I am freezing my ass off in this room. I've got 4 layers on, and I'm going to do this movie reaction today. What's going on, guys? My name is Elie Moses, your 23-year-old law and film student here from Sydney, Australia, shooting his shot, baby. Today, we continue our journey making our way through the IMDb Top 250 with films I haven't seen before. Today we're going to be watching Apocalypse Now. I put a poll on the channel and finally I kept putting Apocalypse Now and it wasn't winning. I really want to watch this film. I actually own it on Blu-ray, but I've never seen it. My brother bought it on Blu-ray for our collection. Still never seen it. So yeah, I'm hella excited for this one because it is directed by Francis Ford Coppola and I watched the Godfather films for the first time 2 years ago or last year because my dad bought the box set as well. So yeah, unbelievable films. I'm hella excited for this one. I cannot wait to see what's in store for it. Yeah, this is Apocalypse Now. First time watching movie reaction from your boy Elie Moses. Let's get into it. Let's have some fun. And let me know what you think of this film and what film we should do next. And if you enjoy, feel free to like, share, subscribe. Only if you enjoy the content. Take care. Let's get into movie reaction. Let's smash this thing. Let's go. Yo, that sound reverb right there. I think that was the sound of the chopper. It went from here all the way across my brain to the right hand side. I like right there how in that scene, and the reason I paused because of the music and copyright right there, but I like how, I think that's Martin Sheen's character right there. I like how his face, sort of like sort of a flip 360 shot, like a 180 of his face, like obviously upside down, was sort of dissolved into the scenery of the explosions happening with the forest. And he was smoking, and he had sort of the ceiling fans as well going on, sort of like he's staring into the ceiling and sort of reminiscing of what's going on during the war. I kind of like that how the opacity was also shifting in and out as the scenes were changing and different shots of his face were happening. I love how the sound of the chopper is interchanged with the cut of the ceiling fan. Maybe gonna delve into some PTSD in this film as well. Now, immediately in the first 7 minutes of this film, you already get an indication of the everlasting effects the war's having of this individual. I mean, when you open the blinds and you see the suburban civilized area, what Coppola decided to do in that scene is start inserting sort of sounds of the Vietnam forest and natural sounds, right? You had like the sounds of the birds, you had sounds of the flies, and even though it's just a normal apartment room, he started to insert those sounds to showcase what's going on in this person's mind. He hasn't escaped the war yet, and then you sort of switch that up with the chaotic rock music. I think it is rock music or band music, and everything is just chaotic. This person is not a sane individual. It's sort of like the war and him are one now. It's like, yeah, that's what it is. And I really think the sound design in this film is going to be really great.
Everyone gets everything he wants. I wanted a mission. And for my sins, they gave me one. Brought it up to me like room service.
Captain Willard, are you in there?
And when it was over, I'd never want another.
I like how rough and coarse. I think that's Martin Sheen's voice is. I think it is. I love how
right,
rough and
Captain?
coarse his voice is.
Crawl along the edge of a straight razor. That's my dream. It's my nightmare.
And Marlon Brando's voice is gonna be one of the most iconic in film. Love it.
Along the edge of a straight razor.
Walt Kurtz was one of the most outstanding officers this country's ever produced. He was brilliant. He was outstanding in every way. he was a good man, too.
Seems like the war got the better of
Humanitarian
him.
man. Good does not always triumph. Sometimes the dark side overcomes what Lincoln called the better angels of our nature. Every man has got a breaking point.
Must bring balance to the
You
force.
and I have them. Walt Kurtz has reached his. And very obviously, he has gone insane.
Yes, sir. Very much so, sir. Obviously insane.
Your
You know what
mission is to proceed up the Nung River in a Navy patrol boat. Pick up Colonel Kurtz's path at New Mung Ba. Follow it, learn what you can along the way. When you find the colonel, infiltrate his team by whatever means available, and terminate the colonel's command.
You know what I feel like? I feel like from the voiceover we had in the beginning of the film of Willard, I'm interested to see the path he goes down and if he himself sort of starts to become like Colonel Kurtz, or there's like a lot of similarities between them. And interested to see Willard's breaking point and whether he reaches the same level as Kurtz or is about to, but somehow resists that temptation in the end, or he gets to that stage but somehow resists it, but still it's going to scar him forever. Interested to see. Just a little bit of a prediction here, but I feel like there might be a lot of similarities with Willard in terms of we're going to go on this journey with Willard and sort of see Kurtz's journey as well, and see how Willard, or sort of Kurtz, how he became Kurtz, if that makes sense, because there's a lot of talking as to what Kurtz has become, and maybe we're going to see that through Willard, but in the end, see the opposite of that, sort of like the antithesis of that, where Willard doesn't reach that level of Kurtz, but we see the journey of it.
Shit. Charging a man with murder in this place was like handing out speeding tickets at the Indy 500. I took the mission. What the hell else was I gonna do?
How old are you? 17.
Is that a young Lawrence
The
Fishburne?
machinist, the one they called Chef, was from New Orleans.
That's a young
He was wrapped
Lawrence
too tight for
Fishburne.
Vietnam. Probably wrapped too tight for New Orleans.
I see you right on target today.
I feel like the only sense of escapism we're gonna get in the film is this scene right here, like the characters are right now. Because once we get on the ground and get involved in the mission, we, the audience, are gonna get involved in the mission as well. We're gonna get trapped in that void, like the characters as well. I feel like Coppola is gonna immerse you with the characters. It's gonna be one of those where it's just like you're locked in, razor focus, cannot slip up, and your psychological mind, your psychic is gonna be tested along with the characters. I feel like it's gonna be one of these ones. So enjoy these moments while it lasts. Yeah. Here we go. I feel like from this point onwards, there's no turning back. We're locked in. Are we not going to get that guy a medic? Like,
Who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven.
I love the sound design. I mean, you have a full-on mass going on in all the chaos, and although you can hear the sound of the mass, that you can hear the sound of the Our Father, it's overpowered by the voice of the choppers, the explosions in the background. And I guess that is a testament to the state of the
Kilgore
war.
had a pretty
There's
good
no
day
peace.
for himself. They choppered in the T-bones and the beer and turned the LZ into a beach party. The more they tried to make it just like home, the more they made everybody miss it.
I don't know, man. I feel like Coppola is preparing for like some sort of descent here. Like, okay, the vibes lasted longer than I thought they were going to be. You know, they tried to recreate that comfort they had at home and back home in America and things like that. But I feel like Coppola is preparing for a descent into some void that's going to be hard to crawl out of for all the characters involved. And I'm just sensing it. You see the eerie music start to creep in now. And I'm just waiting for it. I feel like you're going to see different breaking points for different individuals as well. Some people might break sooner, some people might break later, some people might not break at all. And it's going to be amazing to see. I feel like you're going to see these individuals start to become more disconnected from reality as the film goes on. Like, they're out here feeling comfortable, about to play music as they're descending upon this area. They're talking about surfing, what type of boards to use, light boards, heavy boards. But I feel like that's going to completely get thrown out the window.
Don't get a ball blown off.
Last time I saw soldiers descend upon an island like this in choppers during the Vietnam War, there was a 100-foot ape staring between them. Those choppers did not last long. There was a mighty Kong standing in front of him. And I can see in Kong Skull Island how the director of that film was kind of influenced by some of the shots in this film, with the choppers descending with the sunrise or the sunset, and similar shots of the choppers standing in arriving in like sort of a similar formation as well. Oh, that's that Flying V Mighty Ducks formation. Where's Emilio Estevez when you need him? Wow. Yeah, I was about to say, you're going to start to hear the choppers overwhelm the peace and quiet of the school. The level changes in audio are fantastic. Are these guys even the enemy, or is this just the normal village doing their day-to-day things? It might be a Viet Cong encampment, actually, but it's just the kids in the school are just caught in the crossfire. That's war. Ah. Oh. Man.
Fucking savages. Holy Christ, she's a savage. They want to get that thing fixed. Get over there, Johnny, and roll in there. Put the right skid right up her ass.
Far out.
This goddamn eat up with enemy down there. Heck,
What do you think? Wow, it's really exciting, man. No, the way. The way.
Oh my gosh, he's thinking about the waves and surfing.
Watch. Look, a 6-foot swell.
The chopper says death from above. I mean, the captain was not phased at all by that mortar just dropping about a meter from him.
I'll bet you can't when you get out there. See how they break both ways? Break right, one
Wow.
simultaneous. What do you think of that? Bill, I think we gotta wait for the tide to come up. Hey, Lance, come here. Look.
We're in the middle of a siege, and we're worrying about the
Tide doesn't come in for 6 hours.
we're worrying about the surfing conditions.
You wanna wait here for 6 hours?
Is that a way of the captain trying to keep himself attached to back, like his home and back home, and like sort of what reality is back home?
Okay, fellas, quit hiding. Let's go. You can't take off. I'm afraid to surf this place. I'll try to surf this fucking place.
I feel like he's gonna get hit with some sort of shell while surfing.
Big Duke sick.
Poetic justice.
God damn it! I want a tree line bomb.
They need some napalm down in the tree line. Can you get twisted around trying to put it down here? Right, 1-3, you were big as fuck with it.
Oh,
Sorry.
napalm strike.
Press some mortar fire off the tree line down here.
I have a feeling this is gonna be all practical explosions as well.
30 seconds to on station. Get your people back and head down. This is gonna be a big one.
Yeah, I'm anticipating a big one as well. Damn!
the smell of napalm in the morning. You know, one time we had a hail bomb for 12 hours. When it was all over, I walked up. We didn't find one of them, not one stinking big body. Smell! You know that gasoline smell? It smells like victory.
I mean, I want to pause now. That entire sequence with the attack on the Viet Cong encampment right there was absolutely fantastic. Some of the cinematography in there was absolutely outstanding. Even the sound design. In a way, it was all diegetic sound, like sounds emanating from the real world environment. If you count the Ride of the Valkyries, that thing, the song being played, it probably counts as diegetic sound because it's sound that was played through the speakers of the helicopters and all the characters can hear it. So yeah, everything in that scene was diegetic sound. It was fantastic. And then you had this Ride of the Valkyries being played, this euphoric sort of this symphony being played, and it's sort of geeing up all the soldiers, and then you immediately cut to the placid environment of the school, and then you start to see the sound of the helicopters and the Ride of the Valkyries start to creep in, and then bang, it ascends to chaos. But what Coppola did well in that scene right there was no use of like shaky cam. The cinematography is absolutely fantastic. Every scene or every shot has so much going in it, and whether it be sort of like the landscape panning shots of the soldiers arriving, or it'd be like the bird's eye shot views from the helicopters, everything was filmed to perfection. There was so much going on in each scene, and it's very easy to follow, and it's absolutely fantastic. Even at the end right there with the captain giving his sort of speech, you had in the background the soldiers marching the captives of the village, and then the camera slowly zooms in and pans into the captain's face, but it still maintained sort of like a medium shot, so you could still see what was going on in the background, and it was absolutely fantastic. And I felt like Coppola had to plan this scene out very well, because there was a lot of destruction and explosions in this and a lot of fantastic practical effects. So I felt like this would have been like sort of like a only one shot situation you got, where if it doesn't go right, it would cost a lot of money to sort of rebuild the set. And yeah, it was really, really well done. It was absolutely fantastic. You're constantly on edge watching this because of the sound design. I know this film came out after, but it really reminds me of Predator, where you're constantly on the edge of your seat. You don't know who's out there, you don't know what's watching you, and you're constantly waiting for something to happen. Holy moly! Remember the captain at the beginning of the film was talking about the breaking point of each individual? There's one of them already.
It's gonna be all right. Never get out of fucking. Hi, Tiger. Hi, Tiger.
And that's probably one of the most tame experiences we're gonna get in this film. An interaction
Never get out of the boat.
with a tiger, something natural.
Absolutely goddamn right. Unless you were going all the way. He had to apply 3 times, and he put up with a ton of shit. But when he threatened to resign, they gave it to him.
I love how they're building up Kurtz here, and I cannot wait to meet him.
The youngest guy in his class was half his age.
The Playboy bunny on the chopper. Oh! I didn't expect the film to go down this way so far. I thought it was going to be, you know, one last scene with sort of like attached to reality, and we're going to see that descent and that escape from the reality as the war starts to consume each individual. But what we've had is we've had sort of like checkpoints in this film where each checkpoint we see characters trying to sort of attach themselves back to reality, or attach themselves back to the comfort of home life, or things like home. You know, you had the barbecue in the scene after the attack of the camp, playing the guitar, surfing, things like that, and then here a show right there. But I feel like at one point the film might sort of have one last hurrah at this. This might be the last hurrah before that descent, because I keep thinking to myself, when is the full descent going to happen? But we're sort of having like checkpoints. But the only individual that sort of has been back home, or where we know has been back home, is Captain Willard, like, because he's been back home, seen what home's like, and then gone back to the war. But yeah, interesting to see when Coppola's going to pull the trigger. I mean, it's a full-on theme park light show in the middle of the war. Is anyone keeping watch just in case there's an attack on the base? Damn, that's what the war's done to these guys. Look how desperate they are to cling on to something.
Charlie didn't get
like
much
that.
USO. He was dug in too deep or moving too fast. His idea of great R&R was cold rice and a little rat meat. He had only two ways home: death or victory.
The build
Enemy
up,
activity in his old sector dropped off to nothing.
the build up with Kurtz's character is phenomenal.
Guess he must have hit the right 4 people.
And follow every order, however ridiculous.
Interesting to
They
see
lost him.
why they called Willard to face
He was
Kurtz,
gone.
or to assassinate Kurtz.
Nothing
Almost,
but rumors and random intelligence, mostly from captured VC.
almost as if they see Willard as his equal.
The VC knew his name by now, and they were scared of him. He and his men were playing hit and run all the way into Cambodia.
Oh, yeah? What do you think, Chief?
I don't think. My orders say I'm not supposed to know where I'm taking this boat, so I don't. But one look at you and I know it's gonna be hot, wherever it is.
You know what I feel like? I feel like no matter how much the film prepares you for Kurtz, and how much you listen to Willard, and how much you look at the files, look at the photos, the voice we've heard of him, no matter how much the film prepares you for him, I feel like it's not going to be enough. I feel like despite thinking you're going to be prepared, we're going to be surprised and we're going to be shocked. Like nothing can prepare us for Kurtz. And that's what I feel like. That's what I feel like.
You just get me close to my destination and I'll cut you and the crew loose.
All right, Captain.
Oh, is he going to try and do a one-man job here?
I have been officially accused of murder by the Army.
That's Kurtz's letter, I'm guessing, to his family.
The alleged victims were 4 Vietnamese double agents. We spent months uncovering them and accumulating evidence. When absolute proof was completed, we acted. We acted like soldiers.
It's almost as if they're preparing you for Kurtz in a way where he's not even human anymore.
Sandman out the board bow.
He's this superior being that's not on this planet.
Bring him in. Lead on the 16. Chef, get a 16.
Hey, bro, you could have hit Chef.
Clean.
I'm good.
Did they even find anything to justify that?
Which is running for?
Oh my.
Puppy. It's a fucking puppy. Give me that. No, you're not gonna get it. No.
Hey, leave the puppy alone.
Asshole. Fucking mango, Tim. You want that? Chef, she's moving behind you. She's alive. Check her out.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
We're taking her to some friendlies, Captain. She's wounded. She's not dead.
Yeah, this shit.
The book says, Captain.
Oh.
Fuck you. Fuck him.
I told you not to stop. Now let's go.
Hey, do we have a name for the puppy? What are we calling the puppy? I love how as they make their way and journey down the river, like I said, we reach these checkpoints or we reach these certain scenarios that happen, and each character in each scenario is reacting in a different
It
type
was
of
the way
way.
we had over here of living with ourselves. We'd cut them in half with a machine gun and give them a band-aid. It was a lie.
It's like each checkpoint,
And the more I saw of them,
or each stop, or
the
each
more I
interaction
hated
down the
lies.
river is a
those
test
boys
for
would
each
never ever
character.
look at me the same way again. But I felt like I knew one or two things about Kurtz that weren't in the dossier.
I mean, the way the camera is slowly panning. I'm guessing it's rigged up on like a track, and the way it's moving and the way there's so much going on in each scene. It's fantastic. The production on this film is phenomenal. Spared no expense. As Hammond would say.
Man, listen to the music.
We're not buying the CO.
You came right to it, son of a bitch.
I love the lighting. I love the lighting. It keeps going to black and flashing in and out.
God damn it, you stepped in my face.
You thought you were dead?
You thought wrong, damn it.
He's got the puppy with him.
I told you to stop fucking with me, didn't I? You think you're so bad, huh, nigga?
What are you shooting at, soldier?
Whoa, what the fuck you think I'm shooting at? Well, bust it.
Bro, it's so chaotic. There's no sense of direction or control. And that's due to the lighting as well, the way the soldiers are interacting with one another. And it's I guess it's meant to depict that as well.
You him out there on the wire, man?
Yeah. You need a flare?
Oh, I used to use that on Black Ops 1, the China Lake.
Motherfucker.
Hey, soldier.
Guy don't miss.
Do you know who's in command here?
Yeah.
It's like, it's one of those situations where you don't know who's shooting at who, like where anyone else is, because
Watch them trees.
that's what the Vietnam War was like.
There's no diesel fuel, but I picked up some ammo. Let's move out.
And you're immersed in it.
There's no fucking CO here.
You're on your own, Captain.
Upriver, baby. Past the bridge.
Do you want to go on? Like this bridge. We build it every night. Charlie blows it right back up again. Just so the generals can say the road's open. Think about it. Who cares?
Just get us upriver.
I mean, as soon as you cross the bridge, right, you sort of got that element of the unknown, and you don't know what they're gonna encounter. And I guess sending up a pink flare and pink smoke is not the best way to stay discreet. Oh shit! See? I mean, they're lucky that ain't missiles coming at them. It's just flares. Or bullets. Oh, now it is. There goes clean.
Where'd the dog go? Stick out clean. Where's the dog? We gotta go back and get the dog. Hey.
Oh, while his mother's tape is playing as well.
Mama, you can't die, you fucker.
Stay out of the way of the bullets and bring your honey home all in one piece.
That's hard, man. That's hard.
Love, Mom.
Sound mixing in this film is Wow. Like, even through the ambush right there, all the chaos, you still heard Clean's mother's tape as well. Even before Clean got shot. And it was just the sound mixing and everything that was going on there. It's unbelievable. It's not only the war that's detaching them from reality as they're journeying upriver, but as they journey upriver, you as the viewer as well feel like they're entering another world. Like, they're not entering what is something of this earth, if that makes sense. And that, again, is one of the factors that I guess questions the human condition themselves. Like, it's not only the experiences of the war, but as they're journeying across the river, they're going into uncharted territory. They're going into something that's out of their comfort zone completely. And it is at this stage, I guess, as soon as they cross the bridge, there's not going to be these R&R situations. And this is really where they're going to be tested. And this is really where we're going to see the breaking point of each individual. And we already just lost a man. And we saw Chef before during the film lose it with that interaction with the tiger. And now that they've crossed the bridge, they're entering uncharted territory. They're going to enter another realm of existence here, and it's going to be interesting to see the breaking point, and I guess how the war, I guess, questions oneself, and it's amazing. It's amazing.
He was real close.
Is this Kurtz's territory right here in Cambodia?
I couldn't see him yet, but I could feel him. As if the boat were being sucked upriver and the water was flowing back into the jungle.
Why did I duck there? I was like, I did a little bit of a... What's Lance doing? Lance is lost. Lance is gone. I mean, preserve ammunition, man. That wasn't a toy stick.
A spear.
Are the soldiers themselves going to reach some sort of primitive or animalistic state as well? And the irony right there was him saying a spear, of dying to a spear in a war like this.
Part of me was afraid of what I would find and what I would do when I got there.
I'm still afraid of what we're gonna find.
I knew the risks. Or imagined I knew.
Yeah, Lance is a write-off. Lance is... Ever since he lost that puppy as well, it's got me thinking, maybe the captain of the ship and Clean, maybe they got the easy way out by dying the way they did. Maybe what these characters are going to go through or confront is probably worse than death.
Lance?
That's how the film's making it out to
Keep
be.
your hands away from the guns.
Is this Kurtz's compound? This is scary, man. This is scary. I love how it's racking focus as well on Willard for now. And all the sort of natives are out of focus. Even as the camera starts to pan over Willard's head, they're still out of focus. I wonder how much this film cost to make, because the production is outstanding.
Take him away, and I hope that isn't true.
Take who away?
Kurtz.
Him! Colonel Kurtz. These are all his children, man, as far as you can see. If you can keep your head when all about your losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you. I mean, I can't. I'm a little man. I'm a little man. He's a great man. I should have been a pair of ragged claws scuttling across floors of silent seas. I mean, he's fighting the war. He's a great man.
Oh, motto, Apocalypse Now on the wall. On the wall right there. I saw that.
I'm gonna kill you. Any minute.
The framing is phenomenal. I mean, you just got
So you just lay cool. Lay cool. Lay back.
dead bodies in the middle of the
It
frame,
gets
out of
funny, it
focus,
really
but
does.
still, it's there. It's in your face.
But you don't judge the colonel. You don't judge the colonel like an ordinary man.
That Kurtz has started his own civilization. The man has a god complex.
Colby.
And these individuals who worship him, they're brainwashed. They're done.
Then you help me.
Help you? Fucking A, I'll help you. I'll do anything to get out of this joint. Good boy. We could
I don't
blow
think I've
all
heard
the
Lance
assholes
speak
away. They're so fucking spaced out
in
they
a
wouldn't even
while.
know it. Well, I ain't afraid of all them fucking skulls and altars and shit. I used to think if I died in an evil place, then my soul wouldn't be able to make it to heaven. I mean, I don't care where it goes as long as it ain't here.
I'll go up with Lance, scrounge around, check the place out, see if I can find the colonel. Okay? Everything I saw told me that Kurtz had gone insane.
Is there something beyond insane? Because that's what it is.
The place was full of bodies. North Vietnamese, Viet Cong, Cambodians.
He doesn't care. He doesn't discriminate. If you're not with me, you're
If
my
I was
enemy.
still alive, it was because he wanted me that way.
The Ohio River, sir?
Uh-huh.
About 200 miles.
I went down that river once when I was a kid.
Love the shadows, how they're obscuring his face.
There's a place in the river I can't remember. Must have been a gardenia plantation or flower plantation at one time. It's all wild and overgrown now, but for about 5 miles, you'd think that heaven just fell on the earth in the form of gardenias. What did they tell you?
They told me that you had gone totally insane.
I don't think he likes that word.
And that your methods were unsound.
Are my methods unsound?
I don't see any method at all.
Are you an assassin?
I'm a soldier.
You're neither. You're an errand boy. Sent by grocery clerks
Wow.
to collect a bill.
I mean, the lighting in that scene was fantastic. I love how the left-hand side of his face was lit in that sort of golden yellow, and it was in the background it was a complete dark abyss, whereas where the right-hand side of the face, or his face, was covered in black, but it was lit in the background. You could see the walls in the background. It was like the complete opposite. The lighting in that scene was fantastic. I don't know how they did it, but it's fantastic. Would have been a lot of test runs with the camera to get that type of lighting. I love how he said, like, the captain at the beginning of the film said his methods are unsound, and like, Willard's like, there is no method to this. There isn't a method. This is not a method. At all.
They're gonna say he was a kind man. He was a wise man. He had plans. He had wisdom. Bullshit, man. Am I gonna be the one that's gonna set them straight? Look at me, wrong.
Man.
You.
Does he see Willard as sort of his next, at his protege, almost? Is he gonna sort of like prep him up and groom him to be next in charge?
I'm asleep and dreaming I'm on this shitty boat.
Look how they massacred my boy. I'm joking. I'm just like, I had to. Is that Chef? No, man. Oh. I wonder because Kurtz is dying, because I think Willard mentioned all the malaria and stuff. If Kurtz is actually sick and he's gonna die anyway, if he's gonna try and imprint his like philosophies to Willard, and like I said before, see him as his next up, his protege, his apprentice. I love how this film is slow and methodical in its approach to showcasing like how war basically makes us or makes these individuals descend into the darkest pits of humanity, into the darkest, I guess, the darkest parts of the soul. Like there is no light there, and this film is explaining that. And we still got 27 minutes remaining, which makes me think there's still something big, like waiting to happen.
We're the hollow men. We're the stuffed men.
Wait,
leaning together.
I've heard this before.
Headpiece filled with straw.
I've heard this before. I think I did it in English
Our
back in
dry
school.
voices when we whisper together are quiet and meaningless as wind in dry grass.
It's a poem.
A rat's feet.
Oh, he's out there.
Glass in our dry cellar. Shade without color. Paralyzed force. Gesture without motion.
I did this. I picked this for my essay. I remember. What poem is it?
This is dialectics. It's very simple dialectics. 1 through 9. No maybes, no supposes, no fractions. You can't travel in space. You can't go out into space. The world ends. Look at this fucking shit we're in, man. Whimper, and with a whimper, I'm fucking split.
Not with a bang, but a T.S. Eliot. T.S. Eliot. I did it in school. I remember the Hollow Man poem. I remember. We did it for our Year 12 studies. I remember. We did T.S. Eliot. Was it Year 11 or 12? One of them. I did it in school. I remember. It ends not with a bang, but a whimper. Yeah, I remember.
If the generals back in the Trang could see what I saw, would they still want me to kill him? More than ever, probably. I'd never seen a man so broken up and ripped apart.
I've seen horrors. Horrors that you've seen. But you have no right to call me a murderer. You have a right to kill me. You have a right to do that. But you have no right to judge me. Horror and moral terror are your friends. If they are not, then they are enemies to be feared.
The lighting is fantastic.
They are truly enemies.
Is that Lance? Bro.
I remember when I was with Special Forces 1,000 centuries ago. We went into a camp to inoculate some children. We left the camp after we had inoculated the children for polio. And this old man came running after us and he was crying. He couldn't say. We went back there and they had come and hacked off
the lighting,
every
man.
inoculated arm. There they were in a pile of. And then I realized, like I was shot with a diamond bullet right through my forehead. And I thought, my God, the genius of that. The genius, the will to do that. Perfect, genuine, complete, crystalline, pure. And then I realized they were stronger than me because they could stand it. These were not monsters. These were men, trained cadres. These men who fought with their hearts, who have families, who have children, who are filled with love. But they have the strength to do that.
Marlon Brando is
If I
just
had
crazy.
10 divisions of those men, then our troubles here would be over very quickly. You have to have men who are moral and at the same time who are able to utilize their primordial instincts to kill without feeling, without passion,
That's what he's created with
without judgment. I would want someone to go to my home and tell my son everything.
this. Okay.
Everything I did, everything you saw, because there's nothing that I detest more than the stench of lies.
I mean, Marlon Brando is absolutely I love how when he's on screen, for as little he has been on screen in this film, he commands respect when he's on screen. He has that gravitas to him. He has that aura when he's on screen. It's like he represents himself. He represents his character of Colonel Kurtz as this larger than human individual. Like he's omnipotent. He has this sort of omnipotence to him. He's like I forgot the word. There's omnipotence and there's the other one. I forgot what it was. It will come to my mind, but my tongue got caught with the words right there. But he's able to bring this character to a larger than life level, and it's absolutely phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal. I just sat there listening to him. I didn't want to pause. I just sat there listening to him. I wanted to hear what he had to say. I wanted to hear the method behind the man. I wanted a deep dive into his psychological thoughts. I wanted to go into that corner of darkness he's in and everything that he's seen in the war. And that's what's so good about it. Omniscience, I think it is. Omniscience, I think. Like,
CPR Street Gang, this is Almighty, over.
in the context...
CPR Street Gang, this is Almighty, standing by, over.
Like, in the context of the war, are Kurt's methods really madness or insane? Like, you as the viewer could question that. In the context of the war, in the context of surrounding everything, and in the context of what the Americans were doing at the beginning of the film, the village, are Kurt's methods really that insane? Are they really a step over? Like, has he really descended into madness? I don't know. I'm just playing devil's advocate here. You could question that because obviously he's thrown morality out the window, but could you really say that in the context, in the larger scheme of things, that his methods are not as bad as everyone is making him out to be in the context of the war? Just say.
They were gonna make me a major for this. And I wasn't even in their fucking army anymore.
Wow, what a shot. I wonder if he didn't kill Lance because he didn't see him like as a threat. Like he's overstepped that boundary now. Lance is far from human. Unlike Chef, where he still had some sort of morals to him and he still had some sort of conscious and I guess awareness to his decisions. The framing. Damn. He's slaughtering him. Primitive way. Is that right there, Kurtz finally being able to see, if that makes sense? Like in the wake of death, in the midst of facing death, he was able to see the horror. He was finally able to see everything and sort of accept death as a sort of way of liberating himself from what he's done. I wonder if Willard recorded himself on the tape at the end there as Kurtz was recording himself. I am the captain now. Ah, man. Again, similar shades of lighting used with Marlon Brando before, now with Martin Sheen's Willard. They almost seem as if like, do they almost seem as like a Messiah-like figure here, where he's liberated them? I wonder if they will go ahead with the airstrike anyway. I love how we're ending the film with the same dissolving and opacity effect of Willard's face, but this time interchanged with the war experiences rather than the ceiling fan. Oh, that's therapeutic. Dark screen and rain sounds, eh? Damn. Wow, man. Wow. What a phenomenal film. What a phenomenal film. I love how the ending is kind of ambiguous as well, where Willard himself has the chance to become Kurtz's successor, but he knows that if he becomes Kurtz's successor, word will get out and another assassin will be sent after him, and like the cycle could continue because he knows someone is going to go on the same path he will. And I love how the ending is a little bit ambiguous, how he has that temptation at the end to become his successor, but he goes back, and I'm guessing he probably goes back, but he's never going to be the same again. Like, he's never going to be the same again. And I'm judging that by the voiceovers in the films. He survives, but and goes back, but he never fully recovers. I mean, already in the beginning of the film, he has that PTSD, but after going through that, he's never gonna fully, he's never gonna fully recover, and he's been through the darkest pits of hell in this film. And even Lance himself, I don't know, I think it was Lance at the end, he seems far gone. Like, he seems like not even, like, he's lost his speech even. He's become primitive. He's become back to 2001 A Space Odyssey, the beginning of that film right there. And this film, the way it uses the war as like sort of an exploration of the human soul, the human condition, and I guess the lengths a human can be put through, like that test of will, that test of character, that how deep, and how deep can we go? How dark can we go? How dark to the darkest corners of humanity can we go? This is what this film portrays. It does it in a slow, methodical way as well, through these checkpoints throughout the film, and each character has their own sort of breaking points. And the one at the end that probably sort of lasted the best was probably Chef, but yeah, he sort of had it in the end, but at the end, we saw what happened to him. But Willard is going to be tainted for life with that experience, whether he survived or not. And I love how the final saying, or the final words uttered in the film, were Kurtz's the horror, because that's what basically the film was trying to say, that was going through Willard's mind at the end, those words and what he's experienced. So it was a fantastic film. Amazing film, well directed as well. That's my movie reaction, guys, to Apocalypse Now. Let me know in the comments section what film to do next. I hope you enjoyed. As always, been your Elie Moses. Take care. God bless. Peace.